game of our big game, obviously at the weekend. In terms of how much this means to the club financially, obviously, going having to play Rangers and Celtic twice, the run in, chance of getting to Europe. How crucial is it to get there for one, the money side, and obviously for the fans and yourselves?
A lot of detail in that question, wasn't there? Well, there's a lot riding on this game, isn't there? So, look, it's. I think everyone knows the importance throughout the league, and to all the clubs that have to fight for finance. It's important to finish in the top six if possible. But if we start thinking about what it leads to, then we'll be distracted from the job that we have to do. And the job we have to do is go and win a game of football. So for me, that's all we're concentrating on. We don't have to talk about what it potentially means in the long term. It's important that we know our jobs for tomorrow and try and replicate the good things that we did last week, try and improve the things that we could have done better last week, and go into the game with the same mindset and mentality as we did.
And do you think the win, obviously at the weekend, was the first of the year? If you win on Saturday, you'll be in the top six and then you can push on, or you just finding form at the right time?
I think we won a game of football last week where we made the fine margins go our way. I thought we deserved to win, but there was times, obviously, the start wasn't ideal, but the players again showed great character and resilience to take the lead back, lose that again, but take the lead back again. So the emotional side of the game last week was controlled really well from our players, which was great, which gives me confidence that they'll control the emotional side of the game tomorrow. You learn by your experiences, you learn from difficult moments, and I think the players have done that over the course of the season. I think we've got a good record, winning points from behind. We've also got a good record from taking the lead. So there's different ways of winning games of football, and that's what we have to focus on. But one game doesn't signify form. I think form is over several games, so we have to focus on what we did last week and make sure we have the same approach to the game as a whole, not just the start of the game, not just the second half, the whole game as an entity.
And anything, obviously you can't give a lot away, but any insight in terms of what you'll say to the players or what you've been saying to the players this week preparing for the game, because it's such a big fixture?
Same as we have done all season, really. We don't signify different games for different significance. We don't go along those lines. I think we want to win every game of football that we go into pre-season. We want to try and win. Tomorrow is no different. So you have to break down a game of football, I think, as a coaching staff, as a player, to taking away what's happening on the periphery of a game of football and really focusing on what you have to do during those 90 minutes. Anything else is distracting, a lack of focus, and if you do that, then you're not doing yourself any favours. So we have to focus on how we try and beat Livingston. That is our only job tomorrow. We can't affect anything else, anywhere else, or in any other game of football prior to this or past this. It's about the 90 minutes tomorrow at Livingston. So I feel we have enough experience, enough good characters in that squad that will be out on that pitch to understand what's needed, to keep anyone else who's unsure online with what's needed, and give it our best shot.
I was just going to say, I suppose it's in your own hands now, which is the position you want to be in going into the last game before the split. You win your top six.
Yeah. So
it's quite clear, isn't it? The objective.
Quite clear. I thought you were going to say quite easy, but no, definitely not easy. That's. I think in life that's the best you can ask for, really. That things are in your control and you have control over your destiny, and if you do things right and you prepare in the right way, but then you take that preparation into whatever you do, and then it gives you the best chance of being successful, and that's what we want to try and do. But it doesn't guarantee anything. I think we've seen that over the course of the season. But I'd rather be in this position than in a position where even if we win, we might not make it. And we're looking at other results. I think I'd rather be in our position. So we've got to sort of embrace that. But every game of football at this level is tough. Livingston have the same ambitions as us going into the game, so it's all geared up for a good competitive game.
Will you keep on wanting to be told about what's happening in the other games? Say Ross County, Aberdeen, for example, and the other games that the teams that could go about the Edinburgh Derby.
I think at a certain point, I will. Later in the afternoon, I don't think. After 10 minutes of the game or half an hour in, I don't think that's necessary. Maybe get an update at some point at half time, just to give us an idea of the latter stages of the game, how we might have to approach it regardless of what's going on. So I think that's just common sense to be aware at that stage, because the different scenarios are too complicated for me at this moment, to be honest. So I'd rather it be closer to the end of the games and see if what we're doing needs to be enhanced or what we're doing is enough. I don't know. So, but I think it's common sense to do that. But I think that's for me and my staff to sort of be aware of. I don't think it's anything that players have to be aware of until we make it clear what we possibly have to do. But that's not in our thinking right now, because I don't think, like I say, going into the game, certainly in the first half, thinking about that is completely unnecessary. And to be honest, even at half time, if there'll be some sort of scenario going on, I don't think it's worthwhile the players even contemplating what's going on elsewhere. I think the games swing to and fro all the way through. And we have to be fully focused as a team once we're on that pitch about what the job in hand is. Because
your job in hand is you win, you're there, so it doesn't matter.
And that's how we have to go into the game. We went into the game last week knowing that we had to get a positive result to give ourselves a chance, because we only had 2 games left. We managed to do that, so credit to the players for that. But as everyone can see, the job isn't done. So we have to have the same approach as last week.
How big of a boost was last week's win to into the game tomorrow?
Yeah, it was a boost. Yeah, we can't lie. It was we've had a difficult spell in the season, but like we were saying, all the way through that, the games were very tight. We were still in a good competitive position in the league table, but we obviously had to break that run at some point. I did have confidence in the way the players had trained that week, how they were in the change room. I could see the focus and feel the focus going into it. It could have been damaged after conceding the first goal, but the response from the team was excellent, which sort of I thought came from the way they trained during that week, with determination to sort of understand the point in the season was now. We didn't have time to waste, and we took advantage of that. So the players deserve great credit. But like I say, the job is half done. We have to get as many points out of those 2 games. We did well in the first game, but we still have to get points from this game.
How's the squad looking for tomorrow?
Good, yeah, good. We've had a little bit of illness at the start of the week with a couple of boys, but they've returned to training yesterday and one today. So we'll see how they are, because they missed the first half of the week, but everyone else is available and fit. So we've got a competitive squad to pick from, and as we knew last week, with the substitutions we made, the game will be about more than 11 players. For both sides, I would expect. So all the boys that start the game, they start the game in the right fashion, but the performance will have to be enhanced at some point by lads coming onto the pitch, and they have to be ready to do that.
After the dust is settled on this weekend, does that give you an opportunity to start planning for next season in terms of looking at new contracts for people?
Let's focus on tomorrow first and foremost, and let's deal with what goes on afterwards. I think right now we have to focus on the game tomorrow, and and the 90 minutes that we have right in front of us, and then we'll make those plans later on.
Is there anyone who missed out last week back? I think Nathan was.
Nathan's not back. Unfortunately, he hasn't trained. He's had an injection yesterday, I think, see if we can clear up the problem he's got.
What's his issue?
It's a bit of a neural issue. We're actually trying to get to the bottom of it at the moment. It's a little bit of a complicated one. So he's been for a couple of scans. He's been to see a couple of different people. We've had given him an injection. Don't ask me what it is. I don't go into that finer detail. But it's to help clear it up. But we're just trying to break down all the possibilities to what it is, and hopefully get him back.
Barry Maguire's obviously still out.
Yeah.
And anyone else still out?
No, I think that's it. To be honest, Mark's back. Yeah, he was back last week. Baz is obviously out for the season, which we know. So, but everyone else is round to go.